Hey folks, welcome back. How's everybody doing today? Rudy, Alpha Investments, where are you? There you guys are. Today I got this interesting story, and I'm kind of squeezed back here to show you guys an interesting video. I think you all appreciate this because this was an area that I was sorting cards in about 2014, 2015, and I stopped when the YouTube thing took off in 2016. And in this time period, I was going through the massive amounts of old bulk, which is going to bring us to today's interesting story. I know you guys can't see the details, but for example, these are 5th edition cards. Oh, City of Poopy. And all 4th edition, and then the back is all revised edition. And then over here is all alliances. You can see, for example, like alliances, you can see all these bulk cards. Well, they used to be. These are alliance bulk land. Oh, Lake of the Dead. You see what I'm saying? These are a bunch of older cards that years ago didn't really have a lot of value. And then Chronicles, Fallen Empires. And then a shelf below here is all Mirage, Homelands, Weatherlight, Exodus. Like I can see Weatherlight down here. Here's a bunch of Weatherlight basic, non-basic lands from Weatherlight, for example. These are all cards that were acquired in large collections years ago, and that were just kind of bulk priced years ago. So, they're all, what this is they're all color sorted. So you see like the lands, white, blue, red, green, artifact, and black. And then 4th edition, for example, you can see all the 4th edition, you can see all the red cards. Bunch of old school, I mean, just millions of lightning bolts, ball lightnings, tons and tons of lightning bolts, rares, all kinds of Winds of Change. I think that's something nowadays. Tempest of Free, that was a cool card in Legends. Another Winds of Change. Anyways, you get the idea. And then the point of the video, though, was in this back row was like revised. And that's the point of today's video. So you can see like revised cards. Mostly bulk and commons and uncommons, but again, there's a lot of, you can see a bunch of regrowths. There's Force of Nature's regrowth. There's just a ton. And when I stopped doing this sorting, I think revised was at like 1,000 to 2,000 cards per color. And then I still had another, I think 40,000 in the bulk boxes to go through. And I just haven't touched this in ages. And I thought this was a perfect time to share this interesting story. So this was a patron, long-term patron. He just says, Rudy, my family and I, we visited a local comic book shop. All right, little hole in the wall, doesn't get much foot traffic, not a lot of regular, walk-in. Obviously in 2020, a lot of stores, there are no walk-in. You can kind of curbside pickup or you can call, but there's really no walk-in in most LGSs. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's not really much of an LGS world right now. Anyways, after watching more and more of your content, I noticed that in the massive pile of Magic cards this guy had at my local store, he had a mix of revised cards selling for like 50 cents a card. All kinds of uncommons, Walls of Water, Wall of Fires, Amulet, Volcanic Eruption. I think Volcanic Eruption's a rare. Maybe it's an uncommon, etc. So in other words, rares, uncommons, and commons. The owner of the store doesn't seem to know a lot about the super old cards, the value or anything, because, however, I don't know if they would be a good investment to buy. Should I spend the day digging through all these cards, trying to find anything? Okay, so that's the message. So what's interesting about this is you have an LGS, sounds like an older gentleman, maybe had the store for a long time. You got a customer who's kind of keeping an eye on the market online, and this gentleman and or his family are realizing that the old world of Magic, looking at you Pokemon, there's a huge influx of money and people going after old cards again. It's massive. Never seen anything like this. Obviously, Magic's nowhere near the level of Pokemon right now. It's insane. So, because of that, what you're going to see is a lot of stores around the country who aren't following this are going to have bulk bins that are like this guy. This guy's selling revised cards for like 50 cents. My suggestion, obviously, is a couple different options. This is up to the individual. A, you can be honest with the owner and tell him that some of these cards are going up in value. Or B, you can you can be honest with them and then go through the cards and try to negotiate. Or B, just say, hey, some of these are worth more, a lot of it's still bulk. I would like to do a package deal instead of 50 cents a card. I don't know if this guy's got 100 cards, 1,000, or 10,000 cards, but try to do some bulk deal just to buy all the revised. That's, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of have that mutual fund blanket approach so that if certain cards go up in value over time, what would be a good example? There are a bunch of uncommons. Well, I think all the artifacts. Oh, look at this. Okay. So I think aren't all artifacts in the original ABU sets, aren't they all uncommon and rares? Were there even common artifacts in Alpha Beta? I don't think there were. Like Disrupting Scepters. Look at this. That's a great example. You know, years ago the card wasn't worth much. You know, and then Ebony Horses. These are Arabian Nights reprints. Tons of flying carpets. Ivory Towers, one of Rudy's favorites. You got a bunch of, all these monoliths. I mean, just tons of Aladdins. And there you go. Do you see my point? Some of these cards back in the day were not worth much in Revise, in 4th edition type thing. These things had no value. But, you know, the world is changing so much, and it's just an example of, I know this is tough to say, but I do think there's going to be a time, and I think we're approaching that time, that even Revise is going to become very sought after. Because Revise is very cheap still. Like this guy said, he's like, Rudy, it's like 50 cents a card. Now, do I think it's a good investment? I'm still stopping short of it because I just don't know. Because Revise, the supply is so high. And I know a lot of people are pointing to like, Rudy, look at the Pokemon. Even the non-first edition base sets, unlimited edition base set from like 99, 2000, 90, you know, I mean, even the non-first edition, which had a huge print run, the prices, people are grading them, getting mint one, they're going through the roof. Yo, do you think Revise and 4th edition and Ice Age and Fallen Empires could follow? It's possible. It really is possible. I don't know the answer to that, but it's definitely possible. Like 4th edition, I was doing the same thing here. And, you know, all this stuff around here, I mean, it's possible. These things can very easily continue to make dramatic moves. So, you know, and you need to also understand this, we don't know this gentleman's situation. So if this gentleman's situation is very well off, he owns a house, and him and his family they have reserve savings. They're already doing retirement accounts and 401ks, 403bs, maybe their own Roth IRA if they're self-employed, or they have a SEP account, or, you know, maybe they got some UTMA, UGMA for the kids' accounts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this guy's situation is. But let's assume he's stable. He's one of the fortunate people who has a stable job in the 2020 world, hasn't had any negative impact. Everyone's healthy. They've got reserve savings. Their income's doing good. They've already maxed out. They're doing the stocks and bonds and retirements and equities and debts and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Wasn't that a cartoon? Anyways, you know, I think collectibles are a good thing. I always stand by. Collectibles are a great addition to any portfolio. So, I think adding Revise is just fine, but I wouldn't, if that's all you have, I wouldn't recommend it. Like, for example, if you have another Rudy type person out there, and you're getting sealed product of new stuff, you got sealed product of old boxes, sealed product of silver and bronze age boxes, you've got some graded cards, you've got a complete set of, I don't know, Arabian Nights, you've got a set of Weatherlight and Exodus, you're buying Urza stuff, and you've got in other words, you got all kinds of stuff spread out. That's a perfect example of an individual that adding something like Revise would be a great fit to the position. You see what I'm saying? I think that's a great idea because we can't predict what's going to happen. Look at the Pokemon world. You guys are going to be hearing a lot about Pokemon nowadays. It's out of control. But I mean, look at the Pokemon world. You can't predict. Nobody would have predicted in the end of 2020 that Pokemon would be the craziest I've ever seen since literally the inception of Pokemon in the end of the 90s. I've never seen anything like it. It's the hottest I've ever seen it since it started out because of all these big influencers and all these huge social media magnets just going after it. It's insane. So, you know, but this is a great story because, like I said, everybody, it shows that you can go around the country and there are card stores that are having all this stuff just sitting around because they're used to it not being worth any money. You see what I'm saying? They're used to this product kind of being worthless. I haven't moved this stuff in years. And it's the same, I mean, look at this. Even 4th edition cards. Like all these 4th edition, like 4th edition was my childhood in middle school. This is what I was involved with, you know. Dingus Eggs, Clockwork Avions, you know, Clockwork Beasts. There's another egg. There's a 4th edition one. You know, this is what my, you know, this was what my middle school, high school was. Oh, look. Hey, Strip Mines, like Manavolts, phenomenal cards. Phenomenal cards. You know, but there's never really been much value. And it's a real chance that, sorry, I'm coming. Seriously though, there's a really real chance that all this stuff is going to change, and cards that had no value are just, everyone's going to change their perspective. But, the bearish negative thing I want to present before I end this video though, is I'm not the only one out there who has like these massive positions of just bulk, cheap, old stuff. Like, I mean, no joke. Like, before I cut the camera off, actually, because not many people are going to watch the end, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to show you some of this other area I'm still sorting. I'm going to blow you guys' minds just to kind of reward some of you all still watching. It's crazy at the end of this video. And, this is just what I got done. And all I did was the phase 1 sorting. This was a basic sorting where I was segregating the collections based on 3rd, 4th, 5th edition. And then all I did was a phase 2 sort where I took the revised edition and I broke it down by color. I haven't even broken it down by rarity, single card, alphabetized, conditional. I haven't done any of that. This was all stopped years ago. And like I said, this is one shelf of literally like 40 shelves. Like, you guys can't see it. Like I said, down here is Mirage. There's 6th edition, 7th edition. There's Homelands, Tempest. Oh, look, here's interesting. Okay, what do we got down here? Look at this one. Here's a pile of Tempest cards, of lands I was dealing with. Aren't some of the other Tempest lands? I can't remember. Weren't some of the other Tempest lands, maybe not? When I think it's Stronghold? I don't know. I don't know, maybe not. I was thinking something different. And that's my thing is, you just... Oh, look, here's a good example. Look at these things. These Merchant Scrolls. You guys remember these things? In Homelands. These things, literally, this was bulk. Like, this was part of, like, 1,000 cards for, like, $2 from years ago. Merchant Scrolls, literally this is a pack fresh near mint one. These things will literally sell in near pack fresh for $5, $10 a card. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I mean, again, you have to remember that if, you don't know how many are out there. So when these prices do start to inflate and move up in value as the future arrives and things change, you always must keep in mind in the back of your head, when it comes to cards like this, in Revised, in 4th edition, we don't know how many 4th edition Swords to Plowshares are out there. There's probably, 500,000. You see my point? It's just, there's tons. So you gotta be careful thinking that, like, any of this stuff could go to, like, thousands of dollars a card. See, I don't think that's possible. But I do believe a lot of these cards can definitely go $5, $10, $20, maybe even $50 a card. But remember, as the prices go up, there are going to be people out there like me who are going to start searching out these cards and bringing them to market to lock in those profit. I mean, because again, if someone contacts me and says, Rudy, I'll buy Merchant Scrolls for $50 a card, if you sign them, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to sell them. If someone goes, I want 1,000 Merchant Scrolls, I'm probably going to dig through Homelands and find as many as I can. And that's a good example. Same thing with 4th edition Lightning Bolts. I probably have, honestly, if I spent a good week and went through everything and sorted all the 4th edition, I bet I could find at least 500 Lightning Bolts that I literally have no cost basis in, maybe a penny a card. Do you see my point? And you got to be really careful, because the people who are trying to buy them out on the market, and maybe they start buying it for $1, then $2 and $3, and they buy all the way up to $10 trying to buy out and manipulate the market. Someone comes along with a batch of 500 or 1,000 copies. What are you going to do? You see? So that's kind of my speech today. So overall, as 2020 continues to change the landscape of everything permanently, in conclusion of this video, number one, collectibles are going to continue to become a huge, mainstream, more popular, more generally accepted collectible asset side kind of alternative investment vehicle. I'm telling you all, I've said it for years, and people just continue to ridicule me, especially back in 2015, 16, 17. And now, as things are really becoming front and center from the Pokemon thing, I do expect to see spillover into Magic and other collectibles. I'm telling you, I'm seeing tremendous money. I've been getting a lot of information and contacts, people asking about Force of Will, Flesh and Blood. I've been getting people asking about Weiss. I've been getting people asking about Final Fantasy TCG again. I'm getting people asking about dead card games lately, wanting to buy large positions and things. There's a lot of movement and a lot of money looking for a place to park. and it's going to reprice and reevaluate the value of a lot of these things. So I hope you all learned something today. That's all I have. I really thought it was important just to kind of share my old sorting system that I was doing years ago. Before I end the video, as promised, I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to show you guys something. So hang on. Don't leave yet. I think you all will appreciate this. Hang on. I'm going to pause it. All right. I'm here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I was like, I need the flash on. Hang on. There we go. So I want to show you guys some of this older area and things I was doing around here. It's completely insane. It's more ridiculous than you all can comprehend. So literally for a while, I was doing complete sets. So I was building complete sets. These are all complete sets of Urzas. These are complete sets of, you guys remember that little military thing? That was cool. So those are complete sets that was being built. These were bulk things, all kinds of stuff that didn't get done. This was a binder I was pulling out of all foreign. These are all foreign cards that, you know, I don't do foreign, just old foreign stuff. We've got all kinds of stuff I didn't get to. But also something else I think was, let's see here. I wanted to share. Oh, here we go. So this is for you guys. I just want to share. Before we end the video today, I just want to show you all something. Look at this. These are all extraordinarily large amounts of cards in bulk that are just, you know, completely insane. Period. It's just completely insane. Like all this Tempest stuff over there, just mountains of Tempest. Ice Age. I was putting some cards in Vanguard boxes for storage. These were, I think, were color sorted by someone I bought. These were all their bulk they didn't want. It gets completely insane. Then, of course, on top, you got binders and different things. It just keeps going and going. Anyway, I just want to give you an idea. The amount of stuff I'm going to find over the years, if I ever go back to doing this, because the YouTube thing, if this is all on hold, just be aware, everybody. The supply is very large. Have a great day.